Hello, good morning, and welcome to this Stone Busters Taste Challenge. Well, challenge in word or name only. But anyway, we're going to go through the whole tournament. This is Crown. This is a WD Premium Canadian whiskey with natural flavors, bottled in Kentucky by Wide World Porters. It's exclusive for Winn-Dixie stores. There's the fleur de lis, I guess, the French people in Canada. That's what that represents, in the two lines of the British people. But I don't know. Decent looking little drawing. It's been the same, seemed like, since I was a kid. I always see this around. Very inexpensive. I think I paid $14.99, but they got it on sale right now at Winn-Dixie for $13.99, if you can believe it, for this handle bottle. Got a handle on the back, sort of indention. All right. The competitor and the clear winner, and I haven't even done the challenge yet, is Crown Royal Reserve. Introduced in 1991 as a specialty version of Crown Royal. I see this at many stores, not all, but most good liquor stores have it. Runs about $45 to $50 depending on the store. But if you shop around, you should be able to get it for about $45. They claim they use only 1%. They select less than 1% of the stocks for this. They call it extra aged. And I guess they're telling the truth. I don't see why they would lie. It'd be nice if it would focus. So there it goes. That's what the bottle looks like. I think they have a new bottle. They just came out with a whole bunch of new bottles for Crown Royal updated. Now look at the cap, or the crown as they call it in British Commonwealth countries. Crown Royal Special Reserve. So they got the original name on the cap. Special Reserve, but they're listed on the website as Crown Royal Reserve. So that's kind of strange, huh? They never changed the cap. It's got a heavier cap than, still plastic, but a heavier, more fancy cap than the regular Crown Royal. Okay. Pour some of this. Doesn't say anything about coloring or flavoring added, although honestly, they don't have to say that for Canadian whiskey. It can have coloring or flavoring added. And it's like Scotch. They can add caramel color and they don't have to tell you. So there's that. And then the WD. Sold only at Winn-Dixie, which is now owned by Aldi. How you like that? Okay. Winn-Dixie stores are located in Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, and Florida. Mostly in Florida. There's over 400 stores in Florida, but they have a good amount here, a few dozen. I think mostly in South Louisiana. Well, let's look at some websites real fast, and then we'll do the so-called challenge. Like I say, a challenge in. So there's Crown Royal Reserve. Like I was telling you, still only 40%, a high proof. It's all about the taste, not the alcohol impact. There you go. Been on the market 3 years as Crown Royal Special Reserve, or as they call it now, Reserve, even though the cap still says Special Reserve. All right. And like I said, I think they updated bottle. So if you get a bottle, it's going to still be fancy. It's going to be fancy, but it'll be different looking. Now we'll go back to the. Not much to see on this website. That's it. Offer runs through June 30th. In-store product available as a delivery. They do deliver. No description, but I put the description, which is right off bottle. Canadian whiskey with natural flavors, plural, flavors, not flavor. Okay, so, it is what it is, right? That's about all you can say. It is what it is. No one forced me to buy it. I did it on my own. It is popular, for good or ill, but it is, a strong seller in Louisiana. All of their WD liquors, rum, gin, vodka, 2 different proofs, tequila, and so forth. Haven't seen a WD brandy, though, however. They even have WD scotch. Be interesting to find out where that scotch well, we know it's from Scotland, but I mean, like what distiller is making it for them, right? Wouldn't that be something to find that out? All right. So the Crown Royal is going to be a little darker, so I can't look down. It's not profoundly darker, but it is a little darker. You can look. I'm not going to look. And I should be able to get this correct on aroma only and then shut it down and get on out of here. Okay. A little musty grain, like literally musty grains and maybe some oak. More elaborate, more deep. There's more depth here of grain and oak, charred oak even. Could Crown Royal use some charred oak? Yeah, they could, because they actually do use new charred oak barrels for the bourbon mash, blender's mash, which is no longer being produced. It was discontinued after sort of a fiasco rollout. Not that it was any of Crown Royal's fault. It wasn't. Diageo played by the rules and they still got rooked. All right, taste. Okay, I can't get it on aroma. I think I can, but I better be on the safe side. There's your Winn-Dixie WD Liquors Premium Canadian. How do I know that? Well, it's just got that very lead vanilla flavor. There's a lead vanilla flavor, and then there's a back note of maybe like pecan oil or walnut oil. And then you get the grains, the corn, a little rye spice, and perhaps some malted barley, but perhaps, I don't know about it. So it's very basic. Now, to be fair, is it like off-putting or disgusting or repellent or bitey or anything hot or bad or anything like that? No. It's all aged at least 3 years. Canadian whiskey has to be at least 3-year age. But it's certainly nothing remarkable. And it's $13.99, and it drinks like it's $13.99 for a handle. So there you go. It fits the price point. It fits the price point. Now, this is like the real deal, all right? This is the real deal. Depth of flavor. Oak, charred oak. Oak that's been saturated in whiskey. Like, say, the whiskey's been in there for years and years and years. It just has that. Get that with some of these whiskeys. If they're really aged, it's like whiskey saturated oak. To sit here and say, oh, yeah, I can pinpoint the corn. Oh, yes, it's let me see. All right. Yeah, it's 88% corn, obviously. And it's, 6% rye and 6% malted barley whiskey. No, I mean, I can't do that. But it does have a complexity to it. And I would highly recommend it. Now, I don't know how you feel about putting down $45, maybe even $50. But in this case, you are going to get what you pay for. They're both medium bodied and they both finished, mostly dry. This one a little bit too sweet, the Winn-Dixie on the finish. But yeah, so you say, nah, I'm just looking for a cheap, average quality Canadian whiskey, and I don't ask for much. I don't demand much. Well, that's good, because if that's your goal, the WD liquor should work just fine. Average. You could maybe argue it to a B minus. That's, in some ways, you could even say a B, like an 83, because it has some nice flavor to it, but it's aberrant, it's non-standard in its flavor. And I would definitely not offer that to somebody as an example of what Canadian whiskey should taste like. No, I give them Crown Royal, which would be the prototype. And you say, here's what good Canadian, really good Canadian whiskey step up tastes like. This would be like the Michelob. Remember Michelob original lager? Michelob be the above premium beer, above Budweiser, and was priced that way. This would be like the Michelob of Crown Royal, like an above price. Now, they have some other ones in that range, like the XO, extra old. They're trying to riff off of, play off of the designation for brandy, cognac brandy. Crown Royal XO, aged, or I should say finished in cognac barrels. aged in regular, whatever Canadian method barrels they use, but then it's finished in cognac. Adds a little tweak to it, adds a little tweak, doesn't make it super special. And it is about $10 cheaper than the reserve. So you might want to look into it. And I think it came out in 2013, but I can't pinpoint it. Really can't pin that down. We're going to bring in Crown Royal Black next for tomorrow's. And that was introduced in 2010, right? 2010, so 14 years ago. Crown Royal Black is sort of like their strong version of Crown Royal. It's 90 proof, so it's like Crown Royal Strong, just like you will get with some of the mainline American, 80 proof bourbons. They'll offer a stronger one, you see. So that's a nice one, and that's all I got to say. Canadian whiskey tastes neutral as fabulous, says Drewski Bruce. No, I don't think it tastes neutral. It's not the same as bourbon. But no, I don't agree that it tastes neutral. It just tastes different. It's a different, which appeals to many and doesn't appeal to others. But let's be fair, Crown Royal is the best-selling whiskey of any type in the United States. And it's the best-selling Canadian whiskey in the world. So it is very popular. Now, I'm not talking about state per state. I'm not saying Crown Royal is the most popular whiskey in every state. When you add all the states together, Crown Royal comes up with the best numbers. In Louisiana, it's clearly the best seller. Got nothing to do with Louisiana and parts of Canada both belonging to France at one time. I'm pretty sure that has nothing to do with it. It's just a popular, for whatever reason, a popular product. It's like the vodka of whiskey to me. Okay, to you. That's his opinion. I don't agree, but, no big deal. Yeah, so Winn-Dixie. Yeah, that's it. It's like a lot of the other inexpensive Canadian whiskeys from this same company, bottled in Frankfort, Kentucky, at a certain distillery. Wink, wink. They have a similar taste profile, which is it's like they're taking a whiskey and masking the flavor with vanilla and maybe almond or pecan extract. To me, it's more like pecan. John and Lily said almond, but I'm not sure. But we're not going to fight about it. But we both agree that it's peculiar. You understand? So there it is. That's it. Now, how's this going to do against Crown Royal XO? You know it's going to lose. It's going to lose to Crown Royal Black. And it's going to lose to Crown Royal Bourbon Mash, which is the bottles I have say Bourbon Mash. You may find bottles say Blender's Mash. You may find bottles say Bourbon Mash. There's still a lot of bottles out there on the shelves. So if you run across it, it could say either one. The Blender's Mash is the newer name. But it was discontinued, so eventually you're not going to see any bottles. I would think it's going to end up selling off, and the stores might drop the price real low just to get it out the store. But I don't know. Crown Royal does kind of sell itself, and I think curious people would just pick it up, to try, here and there. A person might come in the store and try it. Last time I checked at International Market, they still had some bottles left. I was at International Market just this past Tuesday, but I didn't check for that specifically because I wasn't focused on that. Wish I had checked, but it's not important. All right. Well, thanks for watching. For what it's worth, it may not be worth much, but try to come back soon with another one, and I might do it later. I probably will do it later today. So keep your eyes open. Keep an eye on. Maybe in about 3 hours, another Canadian whiskey taste so-called challenge. But like I say, it'll be a tasting, but there won't be much. This camera just gets confused. It won't be much of a challenge to it. All right, y'all take care. Bye-bye.